Hello tribe, and I'm excited to welcome you to our series 8 of our Dosha Vinyasa Yoga, and this is 8.1, so it's a Vata balancing flow. For this flow, the major thing to watch out for is our new arm opening, which I call the oblation arms. And sideways, I'm just going to show you, we're going to, from an upward facing hands position, we are going to open the arms and wave them this way. Now your arm opening can be shallow, you can stick to this, or if you're feeling like it, really wide and really deep. But paired with back bends, the upper body can feel really heavy when it's drifting to the back. So just be aware of that. Start shallow, and then as we progress throughout the vinyasa, throughout the class, you can deepen it, and of course you can always scale it back as well. And I'll just quickly show you, maybe I'll do it obliquely. So from an upward facing hands or a lunge or a warrior one position, we're going to push our hips forward as per our usual for back bends, and you're going to softly open the arms. Use your joints. Don't just drop your arms to the back this way or drop them out this way. Use your joints, and you can have a shallow back bend and a shallow arm opening this way. Or if you're feeling like it, you can also come really deep in both the back bend and the oblation arms. Just always remember, going into a back bend, we push our hips forward and allow the body to counterweight itself. Bend your knees, and to come out of any back bend, squeeze the front line of your body from your pectorals, your abdominal muscles, your psoas, and your quads to lift the sternum back up into an upright position. So let's start, and we'll go down on the mat first. There's only a little bit of kneeling here, so by all means, if you need to pad your knees, you're very much welcome to pad your knees. But we are also going to come into a floating variation of our cat pose, and it's mainly the cat and the extended child's pose. So coming onto the mat in your plank pose. This is to gain our alignments. Bring your knees down, pad them if you need to, untuck your toes, and drift yourself to the back in an extended child's pose. Being aware of your foundations here, especially your hands, try not to drift them closer to you, but stick them where they are and feel that lengthening in your arms and the side of the body. Letting the head go here. Deep, full, circular breath. Even inhalations and exhalations, and the briefest of pauses in between. From here, sway your body side to side. I hope you can see that. I'm swaying the body side to side. Just a gentle opening of the lateral aspects, the sides of our spine, our rib cage, especially once again, the lateral aspects of our rib cage as well. From here, steady back in the middle. Wave yourself up to cat, belly in and up, chest up, head up, tuck your toes under, and follow through with an upward facing cat. Exhale, pushing through your foundations. Feel that lift of your abdominal cavity, that curling of the back, and looking through the gap between your legs and as high up that gap as you can. Downward facing cat. Next one, upward facing cat, waving the spine. You push through your foundations, your arms and hands, and the flats of your toes, and come into an upward facing floating cat. Exhale, downward facing floating cat. One more inhale, upward facing floating cat. Exhale, downward facing floating cat. Bring your spine back to neutral. Bring your body weight forward and unfurl the legs, and you've come back into a plank pose. Right leg, thigh to belly, curl that leg up, angle it for your pigeon, and land. Untuck your back toes, knee down, and if you can, invite the length of your left side to drift a little bit, especially that leg extended far back, as far as it will go, if you can, yeah? So the body isn't drifted, weighted forward too much. Bring your hands in line with your front knee and wave the spine up here, belly in and up. Chest up, head up. You're in a proud pigeon. Your left arm through your fingers is part of your foundation here, because you're going to come into an open belly twist. From the pubis, twisting to the left. Navel, sternum and arm, and nose. Adjust your standing arm where it needs to be to support your body weight. Top of your back foot can actually be pressing down strongly, and you'll feel that natural lift of the knee. And allow that to happen if you want to lift your knee up. Or from here, bring your knee down if you lifted it up. Bend your left knee and hold on to your foot. Once your hand and foot are in contact with each other, push your foot towards the back, adjust yourself here. By the way, you can also use a block under your right hand if you need a little bit more height to stabilize the body. But allow that backwards drift of the body to happen here. A few breaths. And let the leg go. Don't let it slap, yeah? Be mindful of that. Left arm and hand now becomes our foundation, and twist to the other side. From the pubis, navel, sternum and arm, and nose. If you use the block, shift it under your left arm, under your left hand, top of the back foot pressing down to lift the knee up slightly if you want to. There's a deeper activation of the muscles there. Or land your knee, bend it, and hold on to your foot. It's a trickier maneuver though than before. When your hand and foot are in contact with each other, push your foot into your hand and allow this backwards drift to happen. Keep breathing. Circular breath. From here, release the pose. Float your foot down. Hands flat in line with your front knee. Still in that plank distance, and on an exhalation, melt forward and down. Belly down, chest down, head down. We're going to inhale here. We're going to squeeze the body and push through our arms, waving up, belly in and up, chest up, lengthening back up, proud pigeon. Exhale, melting forward and down, elbows pointing to the back or arms spread wide in a cruciform on the floor, high on your claw hands. And inhale, waving yourself back up, squeezing the body up, squeezing the hands in, the arms in, lengthening up. Last one, exhale, forward and down. Opening your arms wide out to the sides if you want to, or support the body with your hands back in. And that will support the weight on that front leg as well. Inhale, waving up, belly in and up, squeezing the back, head up, hands back in, and come back to your proud pigeon. Relax the body here now, crawl forward. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee up. Prepare the body for your floating pigeon. And when you're ready, pushing strongly through your foundations and curl your right leg up. Extend your right leg to the back. Full plank, knees down. Untuck your toes. Drift back, extended child's pose. Sticking your hands where they are, shift the body. Sideways wave of the spine in this extended child's pose variation. A mini vinyasa of your extended child's pose. Coming back to center, wave yourself up. Cat. Tucking your toes under, following through with an upward facing cat and pushing through your foundations to lift the knees off. Exhale. Downward facing floating cat. Inhale. Upward facing floating cat. Exhale. Downward facing floating cat. One more set. Inhale, waving up. Exhale. Waving back down. Spine back to neutral. Body weight opens up to your plank. Left leg curls up, thigh to belly. Angle for pigeon. Just a moment more in your floating pigeon and land. Waving the body, extending your right leg out a little bit more if you can, and waving the body up back into your proud pigeon. The hands will necessarily come closer to the body here. Open belly twist to your right side. From the pubis, navel, sternum and arm, and nose. Activate your back leg by pressing the top of your foot down to lift the knee up. Stay or land your knee and bend your knee. Once you're holding onto your foot, drift the body back towards the back by pressing or pushing your foot into your hand. Release mindfully. Right arm and hand now form part of our foundation, and closed belly twist to the left side. Breathing, circular breath. Back knee lifts just for a moment more. Stay or land that knee, bend it and hold. Then drift your body weight to the back via the strength of your leg, pushing into your hand. Breathing. Exhale, release your pose. Let your foot float. Inhaling here. And exhale, elbows point to the back, hands in line with your front knee, testing the weight on your joints here. If you're okay, waving up, proud pigeon. And as I was saying, if you're okay, exhale down and arms out to the side in a cruciform. Inhale, waving up, squeezing the body, squeezing the arms and hands in and pushing through them to lengthen back up. Exhale, one more, waving down. Breathing. And inhale, wave yourself back up. Squeezing your body up, pushing through your arms, proud pigeon. Relax, walk your hands forward, plank mode, right side already lifts up in your plank, drifting your body weight slightly forward and push through your foundations, curling your left leg up. Extend your leg to the back, full plank, knees bend and drift back, puppy pose. Let's have maybe 3 spinal waves here. Belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Getting to know the spinal wave. One more. In your puppy pose. That's a dog pose with the heels lifted up and the knees bent. Inhale, third forward, upward wave. In that downward wave, if you want to go into dog pose and lengthen your legs, do it here, in that downward wave. Deep, full breath. And if you did lengthen your legs in downward facing dog, have one more spinal wave. Belly up, chest up, head up, and exhaling down. Heels up, knees and elbows bent, walk. Just walking for this flow, but I do want you to lift your legs up, lift your feet up so we don't drag them on the mat. With your feet 1 hip width distance, bend your knees, backs of the hands together, and push through the length of your legs, naturally unfurling the body up in your Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Now, a shallow oblation pose. Push your hips forward, opening the arms. Just a shallow back bend and a shallow opening. Squeeze the front of the body to lift. Squeezing your arms to lift back into our upward facing hands position. Walking the feet in. Squeezing the knees. And don't think about your lower back, just think about bending the knees. And come into a high chair. We don't have to come very deep in our chairs for today. From here, belly on your thighs, move slowly, sweep your arms forward, down, back, and up. Once your arms are lifted to the height you're comfortable with, squeeze your triceps. It's quite a strong tricep squeeze. From here, relax your arms, bring your hands down on top of your shins as you walk your feet apart into your hip width distance once again and push through the length of your arms. Count you're pushing forward with your shins and lifting up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, folding down. Uttanasana. Hands flat on the mat and let the head go. In your forward fold. By the way, if you have any head issues though, just look at that space at the top horizon of your mat. Just to pare back the heaviness of the head. From here, walk your feet back. Hands as flat as you can make them. Walking your feet back. Plank. Exhale, knees down. Untuck your toes. This is your transition for later. Elbows bent to the back. Coming down on the mat, flat plank. From here, you have a choice of 4 lifts and we'll do them one at a time so you know what's best for you. Hands away from the mat. Squeeze your back muscles. Lifting up, cobra, low cobra. Hands down and follow through with the strength of your arms. Higher cobra. Or lift your legs up, allow your body to tilt forward a little bit. Once again, coming into a low locust. Or if you want to, hands out to the sides, not very far. Elbows point up this time, so your elbows are in the 90 degrees. Your forearms and your upper arms, 90 degrees. And push strongly through your arms, high on your claw hands, lifting the legs up. And you're in a higher form of locust. Exhale, melt down, abdominal massage down. Hands back in, toes back under. You're welcome to lift up through your knee plank once again, or strong lift, full plank. Knees bend, drift back. Puppy pose, one spinal wave. In that downward wave, if you want to go to downward facing dog, unfurl your legs here. Deep, full breath. Right leg, thigh to belly. Point the knee back and up. Extend, 3-legged dog. Wave yourself forward, 3-legged plank. And gather that leg through, stepping your foot down. Back heel down on the mat. warrior stance. Check out the workshop room for our workshop sheet on warrior stances. Find your feet. Backs of the hands in, strong front leg, strong back muscles to wave ourselves up in our full warrior one. Take a moment to breathe here. Take a moment to adjust your stance. Then push your hips forward, just a shallow back bend and a shallow oblation arm. Squeeze the front, squeeze the arms in, warrior one. Belly on your thighs, sweep the arms towards the back and up. Once you've reached the optimal height of your arms for your articulation, squeeze your triceps. There's quite a strong tricep burn in this one. Release your arms, hands back down on the mat, back heel points up, plank. Flat plank through your knees or coming straight away all the way down. Choose your lift. Low cobra, high cobra, low locust or high locust. Up to you. You only have to choose one. I'm just showing you your options still. Exhale, abdominal massage down. Hands in, toes back under, lift up. Through your knees or straight up, full plank. Bend your knees, puppy pose, spinal wave. And in that downward wave, decide to stick to puppy or unfurl the legs in dog pose. Left leg, thigh to belly, knee points back and up, extend, three-legged dog. Wave forward, three-legged plank, and curl your leg through. Back heel down on the mat, warrior stance, warrior feet. Backs of the hands in, pushing strongly through your front legs, squeezing your back, squeezing your abdominals nice and long and high, coming back into your warrior one. On an exhalation, pushing the hips forward, allow the body to drift back and open your arms. Oblation warrior one. Squeeze the front to lift, squeeze the arms back in, belly on your thighs, sweep the arms towards the back and up. Release the hands, down on the mat, stepping back, plank. Flat plank, all the way down. Your choice of cobra or locust. You have two to choose from for both those poses. Exhale down. Prepare yourself for your plank lift and lift up. Plank. Puppy pose. Spinal wave. Staying in puppy pose or coming to downward facing dog. Breathing. Heels up if you went to dog pose. Bend your knees and your elbows and walk. Big long strides, lifting the legs up, back to the top of your mat. Finger pads high on your shins, unfurling the body into your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Walking the feet in, looking at that eye-shaped gap between the knees, closing that eye by bending the knees, backs of the hands in, and wave yourself up, pushing through your legs, even in their bent form. Back to high chair. Lengthening out your legs, walking them hip-width distance apart, pushing your hips forward, shallow, medium depth, or deep oblation arms, up to you. Squeeze yourself to lift up, squeeze your arms in. By the way, when I say squeeze your arms in, it's just coming back into your plank distance, yeah? Not together. From here, Walking your feet back in, bending your knees once again, belly on your thighs, sweeping your arms back and up, squeezing the triceps. Release your arms as you release your feet back to one hip width distance and wave yourself back up. Half lift. Deep full breath. Exhale, forward fold. Hands flat and step back, plank. All the way down, flat plank. Lifting up, cobras or locusts. Choose your pose. Exhale down. Prepare for your plank lift and lift up. Full plank. Knees bend, drift back, puppy pose. Stay for one spinal wave and choose your pose, puppy or dog. Right leg, thigh to belly. Point the knee back and up. Three-legged dog. Wave forward, three-legged plank. Step your leg through. Step your foot through. Back heel down on the mat. Prepare for your warrior one. Backs of the hands in. Stabilizing yourself via your front and back legs and wave yourself up. Lengthening up. Warrior one. Warrior one with ablation arms and a back bend. Squeeze yourself to lift. Belly on your thigh. Sweeping the arms back and up. Squeezing the triceps. Release. Back into plank hands. Back heel points up. Full plank. Flat plank. One of the cobras or one of the locusts. Release the pose. Prepare for your plank lift and lift up. Knees bend, push back. Puppy, spinal wave. Choose your pose, downward facing puppy pose or downward facing dog. Left thigh curls up to your belly. Knee points back and up. And extend, three-legged dog. Wave forward, three-legged plank. Gather your left leg through, left foot through, back heel down on the mat. Contract your leg muscles, stabilize the pose. Backs of the hands in, strong back muscle squeeze to lift yourself up. Warrior one. Warrior one. With ablation arms and a back bend. Squeeze yourself to lift. Humble warrior, belly on your thigh, and open wings, arms to the back and up, and squeeze. Release your arms, hands down, coming back to your plank. Flat plank. Cobras or locust pose, up to you. Release the pose. Prepare for your lift and lift up. Full plank. Knees bend, push back and up. Puppy pose, spinal wave. Exhale down. Heels up, knees and elbows bent, and walk. Big long strides, forward fold. Half lift, finger pads any height on your shins, actually like the high setting. Exhale, back into your forward fold. Walk your feet in, Prepare for your chair. Bend the knees, squeeze the legs in, backs of the hands in, and pushing through your bent legs, lengthening up the body, high chair. Lengthen up the legs, walking your feet apart, push your hips forward, shallow or deep oblation arms. Squeeze yourself to lift back up. Walk your feet back in. Good. Bend your knees, high chair. Bend on your thighs, sweep the arms back and up. Into a humble chair with open wings. From here, keep your knees bent. Tilt your body upright, back into your high chair back. Backs of the hands in, and open your arms up. Back to your high chair. Bring your arms forward. This time, wrap your arms around the chest, right elbow on top. And point your elbows forward. Don't impede your breath by bringing the weight of your arms on your upper chest, yeah? Don't let the weight of the arms stop the breath or make the breathing difficult. Point them forward and lift them. Breathing. For this round, don't move very fast. Move slowly. Right leg lifts and steps back in a lunge this time, so the heel is up. But if you need more stability, by all means, come back to your warrior stance. That's with the back heel down. I'm just going to do the lunge. Open your arms to the back, pushing your hips forward, just a shallow back bend and just a small opening. The arms can be in line with the body. A lunge with oblation arms. Squeeze the front, gather that space in front of you. Hold on to your scapula. Trying to open up your rhomboids here. 2 more. Release your arms, pushing your hips forward, maybe a little deeper. Allow your back knee to bend and allow those micro adjustments to happen. Squeeze yourself, pushing strongly through your back leg, especially if you went deep, and gather. Hug yourself once again. 1 more. Release the arms, pushing the hips forward. Allow the back knee to bend, especially if you've come into a really deep version of the pose. Squeeze the front, pushing strongly through your back leg to lift yourself back up. Into your lunge with wrapped arms. Soften your knees and step up. Back into your bowed chair. Breathing here, from the base of the body, from the pubis, turning to the right side. Pubis, navel, sternum, nose. And you've come into a revolved high chair. Left leg slides back, heel down, so distribute your body weight. Yeah, don't let your back heel remain lifted. Bring it down. And come once again into this twist. Release your arms, left forearm, right thigh, and the body will tilt down necessarily. Right arm, look at the wave. Shoulder up, elbow, wrist, fingers. And align your hand in line with your shoulder, not in, odd angles. Bring it in a nice vertical line. Then lengthen your arms in the direction that they're already pointing. From here, stabilize yourself, contract your leg muscles, squeeze your right side to lift yourself up and open your arms just for a moment in a revolved warrior 2. Just a moment in your revolved warrior 2. Relax the arms, drift them to the back, Right arm around the back waist and bind your right fingers on the crook of your left elbow. Take your time. Left hand on top of your left hip, and this is already a strong twist. Stay here if this is enough, or use your arms as levers to torque you a little bit deeper if you want to. But just be aware, this can feel really, really strong, especially for your side ribs. From here, release the pose, release the bind of your arms, and turn to your left side. Anchor your right leg there though. Turn to your left side and open up into a proper warrior two. There's a workshop on our workshop sheets regarding this, this front leg in that transition. So hop onto our workshop room and have a view of that. Have a listen. Relax your arms towards the back once again. Left arm around the back waist. Bind your fingers on the crook of your right elbow. Right hand on the inside, on your adductors of that right leg. And once again, stay here in this bind. It's already a strong bind, and stay if this is enough. Or use your arms as levers to torque you a little deeper in this open belly twist. Warrior two stance with bound arms and a twist. Don't stop your breath. Circular breathing. From here, release your arms, release the twist of the body, turning back forward into your full warrior one legs, backs of the hands together, and wave yourself up. Warrior one. Warrior one with oblation arms. Squeeze yourself to lift up. Humble warrior with open arms to the back and up, adding that tricep squeeze. Release your arms, fingers down on the mat, soften your knees and stepping up, back to your forward fold, letting your head go. You can even bend your knees here if you want to in a Chandrotanasana. Wherever you are, walk your feet back in, squeeze your knees in, chair pose with the legs, backs of the hands together, and wave yourself up. Back to your chair pose. Bring your arms forward and wrap your arms around your chest. Left elbow on top this time. Lifting the arms up, pointing them forward so your upper chest doesn't carry the weight of your arms. Mindful movement, left leg steps back, lunge or warrior stance. Open the arms, start shallow, small push of the hips forward, and just a small opening, meaning to say not very deep, in line with the body, if this is enough. Squeeze yourself up, gather that space around you, hug. Lengthen up the spine here, don't tilt forward. Push your hips forward, shallower or deeper. Oblation arms with your lunge. Squeeze yourself to lift up. One more. Release the pose. Back bend and open the arms. Deeper, meaning to say a little bit more towards the back. And squeeze yourself to lift up and hug. Soften your knees and step up. Back into your bound high chair. Turn to the left side from the pubis while your legs are anchored, navel, sternum, and nose. Revolve the high chair. Breathing. Right leg slides back. Distribute your body weight. so that heel can come down. It helps with your balance. And just one full breath in this revolved version. Then release your arms, right forearm, left thigh. Adjust your stance as you need to. Left arm waves up in a nice vertical form. It's all about weight management. Our limbs are quite heavy. Once your arms are in place, lengthen them in the direction that they're going. They're pointing. From here, stabilize yourself with your strong legs. Squeeze your left side and lift up once again into a revolved warrior two. Relax your arms behind, left arm around the back waist and bind. Right hand, right hip, and stay in this angle. It's a shallower angle of the body. Stay, or use your arms as levers to torque you a little deeper. If you want to, give it a go, but if it feels too much, too strong, pare it back. Breathing. Release the pose. Anchor your left leg down so it doesn't come with you in the twist, and open up into your warrior two. You're reaching your arms, your fingers out to the sides, but you're still retracting the scapula. Relax your arms behind, right arm around the back waist, bind. Left hand on the inside, on the adductors of your left leg. Stay with this shallow bind, or twist a little deeper. See how you go. Breathing. Release the arms, release the body, back to center, full warrior one. Backs of the hands in, lengthening up. Warrior one with oblation arms and a back bend. Choose your depth. Squeeze yourself to lift. Humble warrior, belly on your side, sweeping the arms back and up. At this point, it's very tempting to just throw the arms into place. Don't let that happen. Keep a mindful movement. Release your arms, hands down on the mat, stepping back, plank. Let's have one half flow here. Exhale all the way down. Lifting up. Either of your cobras or either of your locust. Exhale down, hands back in, toes back under, prep and lift. Puppy pose. One spinal wave. And exhale, remain in puppy pose or lengthen your legs. Downward facing dog. Breathing. Heels up, knees and elbows bent. Walk, top of your mat. Soften your knees, backs of the hands in. Wave yourself up. Urdhva, upward facing hands. Shallow or deep, oblation pose. Squeeze yourself to lift. Walking your feet in. Bending your knees, arms in front of you, and wrap. Right arm, right elbow on top. Let's make the second round nice and smooth. Right leg curls up, steps back, lunge or warrior. Open up, dip down, back and down. Squeeze the front, gather that space around you. Wrap. Two more. Exhale. Open the pose. Inhaling up. Close the pose. Exhale here. Breathe in. Open the pose. And exhaling. Lifting up, squeeze. Soften the knees, step up. High bound chair. Revolve chair to the right side. Twisting navel, sternum, nose. Left leg lifts and steps back. Adjust yourself on the mat. Revolved warrior stance. Arms release. Left forearm. Left thigh. Right thigh rather. Right arm. Waves up. And lengthen your arms. Right side squeezes. Pushing through your front leg. Opening up. Revolved warrior 2. Release the arms towards the back. Right arm binds around the back waist and onto the crook of your left elbow. Left hand, right left hip. Keep it shallow or twist deeper. Up to you. Release the bind. Anchor your right leg down and open up to your warrior 2. Breathing. Release your arms to the back. Left arm binds around your back waist. Fingers bind on your right arm. Right hand on the adductors. And stay shallow or twist a little deeper if you want to. Release the pose. Back to center. Backs of the hands in. Warrior 1. Warrior 1 with oblation arms. Squeeze to lift up. Humble warrior with open wings. Release the pose. High on your claw hands and step up. Letting the head go. Full Uttanasana, forward fold with legs straight or bend your knees already in Chandrottanasana. Backs of the hands in, pushing yourself up, Urdhva Hastasana. Oblation pose. Squeeze to lift, walking your legs back in, back into chair. Arms forward and wrap. Left elbow on top. Left leg lifts, steps back, lunge or warrior, 3 dips. Open, dip back, squeeze up, and wrap. Don't rush. Open, dip, squeeze, and wrap. Very tempting to rush this. Don't rush. Open, dip back, squeeze up, and wrap. Both knees bend and step back up into your high chair. Twisting to the left side, pubis, navel, sternum, nose. Right leg slides back, heel down. Revolved warrior stance. Arms release, right forearm, right thigh tilting the body, left arm unfurls up, vertical. Then lengthen your arms in the direction they're going. Good. Pushing through your front leg, squeezing your left side, open up into a revolved warrior 2. Relax your arms. Bring them behind. Left arm binds around the back waist. Fingers bind onto the crook of your elbow. Right hand, right hip. Keep it shallow or twist a little deeper. Up to you. Release the pose. Anchoring your left leg down. Don't let it drift in. And open up. Full warrior two. Release the arms to the back and bind. Right arm is the one that binds. Left hand on the adductors of your left leg. Stay shallow or come deeper. Release the pose. Back to center and back to warrior one. Backs of the hands in. Wave yourself up. Pushing your hips forward, dipping back. Warrior one with oblation arms. Squeeze your front, pushing through your back leg to lift up warrior one. Then humble warrior. Belly on your thigh, sweeping the arms back and up. Deep, full breath. Release the arms, release the hands, back down on the mat, back heel points up, step back once again. Plank. One of our half flow for this vinyasa, all the way down. Untuck your toes. Either of the cobras or either of the locusts. Exhale, release. Prepare for your plank and lift. Bend the knees, puppy pose. One spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Lengthening the legs. If you want, downward facing dog. Before we move from our downward facing dog, let's just have one more spinal wave. Why not? Belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. From here, heels up, knees and elbows bend, but only the right leg curls up and step it forward. From here, back heel down on the mat. From here, turning to the long horizon of your mat, turning to the left side. I know you can't see me, just try to listen to the instructions here. Bring your finger pads strongly down on the mat, bend your knees and bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. So your arms, your forearms and your shins, your calves are in line with each other. From here, stay shallow, just pressing your elbows into your knees, or if you want to, because your elbows are inviting your legs to open up a little bit more, you're welcome to walk your feet a little farther. And you are semi-leaning on the scaffold of your arms, on your elbows. I know it's strong for the hands, reset them. Strong claw shape, trying not to hyperextend your finger joints. And you are pushing your knees apart, drawing your sit bones a little lower. It is quite a strong opening, hip opening. From here, pushing strongly through your legs, bringing the triangles of your feet strongly down into the mat to stabilize the pose. Soften your hands, pressing the circles of the hands into the mat so that you can walk your feet closer. So your legs helped you to stabilize the pose, to bring your hands down. Then your hands helped you to stabilize the pose, to bring your feet in. From here, your knees are still bent, but you've pared back that distance between your feet with your knees bent. Backs of the hands in and push to the length of your legs. Hello again. Unfurling the spine, opening the arms up. Nice and long. Breathing here. Bring your palms to face up and press into a strong, invisible something that wants to lift your arms up until they're parallel to the floor. And we're back into one of our favorite poses, the Vitruvian Man. It looks airy-fairy, but if you're squeezing your scapula in, you're pressing your arms down, you're hugging and lifting the whole 3D of your torso, you're pressing your legs in without necessarily moving them. It's quite a strong whole body activation of your various muscles. Lengthening out here, breathe, circular breathing. Even counts of inhalation and exhalation with brief pauses, just brief pauses between. From here, I want you to feel the difference between this engaged pose to relax the pose. Bring your arms forward, right elbow below, stack your elbows on top of each other. Point your fingers up and lower fingers, that will be the right fingers on the pad of your left hand. And we have a workshop of this, eagle arms and its variation. Head on over to our workshop room once again to have a view of your variations for this. But quickly, if you're holding on to the thumb here, release and just come into a forearm press. Hands in, forearms in, elbows in. Yeah? Try not to leave them open. Try to press them in. And whichever pose you're doing, lift the elbows up, as you did. Don't land the weight of your arms on your upper chest. From here, simultaneous actions. Lead with the crown of your head. Bow down as you bend your knees and come back into a wide-legged, bent knee, forward fold. Pick a side and sway to that side. Doesn't matter which one. Sway the body. Move your joints. Allow your body to move and feel those small air currents going around your limbs, around your body, around your head, and just pendulum your arms side to side, lengthening out your extended leg. They're doing it alternately. And just enjoy this movement. You're filling up that space on your mat with your consciousness, with your focus, with your breath. Once you're on your left side, stop. Turn on your heels and turn to your left side. Warrior legs, you're back into warrior legs, and you're in a humble warrior with bowed arms, eagle arms, or forearm press. Release your arms this time. Backs of the hands in and slowly push through your front leg. You're also pushing through your back leg to stabilize the body. Coming back into your warrior one. Warrior one with oblation arms. Squeezing back up. Humble warrior with open arms. Belly on your thigh. Don't throw your arms. Very tempting at this point. From here, relax your arms. Backs of the hands together. Shoot them forward. Body weight forward. From here, light on your back leg. And this is already really strong for that front leg. When you're ready, push through that front leg and lift yourself up. Try to bring your arms just in line with your ear or a little in front of your ear, yeah? Just to have a little bit more shoulder opening. If you can see my back foot here, I'm landing it down and you can do the same. And this is your warrior 3, if this is enough. Or if you want to come deeper, squeeze the back line of your back, especially your right gluteal muscles, your right hamstrings, to lift that leg up. The angle of the body here doesn't necessarily have to come deep. From here, I'm losing my balance. From here, soften your front knee, back foot down, and wave yourself up back to your warrior one pose. As we did, warrior one with oblation arms. Squeezing back up, belly on your thigh, humble warrior with open wings to the back. Don't forget your tricep squeeze. Relax your arms, relax your hands back down on the mat, and turn on your heels back to that long horizon of the mat. Now to that upper position of the body. I call it my version of frog pose. And I think it's very apt. Elbows on the inside of your knees. Finger pads strongly down. And just stay here if this is enough. Body weight ever so slightly forward, but you're pushing your elbows into your knees. If you want to come deeper in this pose, allow your feet to move as your elbows are pushing them apart. Tricky for the balance though, so just be aware of that, please, and don't fall. Legs support the body, pushing strongly down so your hands become light and bring them flat. Now, weight on your arms so your feet become light and they can walk back in, so it's not too far apart. With your knees still bent, bring the backs of the hands in and push strongly through your legs, waving the body up, waving the arms up. You can even look up here if you want to, palms facing out, and press them down. And bring your head back to level. Vitruvian man. And engage the body, squeezing quite strongly. If you notice my toes are flicked up, I quite like flicking them up just to feel the engagement of the arches of my feet. And you're welcome to do the same. And relax the pose. Whew. Bring your arms forward, left elbow below, and come into your eagle bind or a forearm press. Soften your knees, bow down, lead with the crown of your head, back into our wide-legged bent knee forward fold. Pick a side and sway. Don't overthink this. Just allow the body to occupy the space of your mat. Allow your body to enjoy, especially if you have beads of sweat on your skin. Allow this movement, allow those small air currents to cool the body a little bit more. Cooling and heating at the same time because we're squeezing the arms. From here, when you're next on the right side, stop. Turn on your heels, humble warrior with bound arms. Release the arms, backs of the hands together, warrior one. I think this is the last of a pair of this mini flows, this pair flows. Warrior one with oblation arms. Squeeze to lift up. Humble warrior with open wings. Relax the body. Adjust yourself on the mat if you need to. Backs of the hands together when you're ready and shoot them forward. Again, your forearm in front of the ears or by your ears. Just to have a little bit more shoulder opening. Like you haven't done enough already yet. Body weight forward. When you're ready, strong front leg. Push yourself up. Tilt of the body, angle of the body doesn't have to be deep, but if you want to lift your leg up, squeeze your gluteal muscles and your hamstrings before tilting the body deeper. Standing knee, always a micro bend. Now bend your standing knee even more, back foot down and wave the body up. Warrior one, belly in and up. Chest up, soften the arms here as you're transitioning, and then lengthen the body back up. Shallow or deep, warrior one with ablation arms. Squeeze yourself to lift. Humble warrior with your open wings to the back. Release. Hands, finger pads down on the mat. And bring your feet not together, but separate them to the edges of your mat. Elbows on the inside of your knees. Hands in. Keep your body, your back curled this time. And sink down into your malasana. As you're sinking down, allow your feet to adjust. Yeah, it's different for everybody. Some hips require a small setting for this squat. Some require a bigger setting, and it's all up to you. It all depends on your hips and the articulation of your hips. Anyway, coming into a curled malasana, a curled garland pose. Because I want you to feel the difference between this, and we'll wave the body up, making it an engaged pose. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Thumbs can even drift closer to the sternum to remind us to lift the sternum and head up. Deep, full breath. Now for this next mini vinyasa, I call it crow in flight. We will do the first two together, and then you're welcome to stay in your crow pose. If you have a crow pose practice, it is a strong arm balance. Please don't hurt yourself by face planting. It is quite common though. Or you can just feel your weight on the scaffold of your arms, or maybe tiny claps of the feet if you want a bit more of a flavor of that lift. And any crow pose, full or prep, that you want. From here, release your arms. Whew. You also feel that push through your legs. I know that you're in a very, very low position in the squat, but bring your backs of the hands in and unfurl your body up nice and long. Don't rush that. You might get dizzy. Inhale, lengthening up here. Walking your feet a little bit closer. One hip width distance, but the angle will change, and allow that to happen in a bit. Heels up, palms out to the sides. Bend your knees as you circle your arms wide out to the sides, and then down. Bring your arms right in front of your knees and stick them to your knees. Slide your hands down, checking that your hands don't suddenly drift in. Yeah, keep them at the very least in your plank pose, in that a little wider than hip width, than shoulder width distance, and bring your hands down flat. They do have to be flat though, to save your wrists and your don't come into this pose. I'll do it sideways. Don't come into this 90-degree position of the hands. Very, very bad for you. Body weight forward. Your upper arms and your shins are crossing. They are connected. And just bring your body weight slightly more forward. Your finger pads are strongly digging in. They act to trigger that counterweight tendency of the body. Heels down, Now leave your feet in the angles they're in. Wave yourself up. And inhaling up. And I'll do it sideways once again. Inhale up. Heels up. And exhale. Sweep out to the sides. Knees bend. Arms in front. Slide them down. With your heels still up. Bring them up a little bit more. And body weight forward. Tiny clap of the feet. There you go. Tiny claps if you want to, or just body weight forward with no lift of the feet. One more. Heels down. Unfurl the body up. Inhaling and exhale. If you have crow pose in your practice, or you want to stay a little longer, you're welcome to do so. Just don't hurt yourself by face planting. Feet down. And a few more. You're welcome to pause the video and have a few more of this without a lift, with just feet claps or a hold if you want to. Body weight forward, feet claps, or a longer hold. And feet down. And I will wait for you back into garland pose. From our garland pose, from Alasana, and I'll just turn myself to face the camera once again. Release your arms, right hand behind you. We are going to lean on that arm. When you come down, please don't do it very roughly so you don't jam your joints. So you can reach down, window wipe your knees down to the right side as well. Adjust your standing arm wherever it needs to be for this pose. Left arm waves up. Lengthening up, looking up at the hand if your neck is okay, or just neutral, wherever it dictates as neutral. When you're ready, pushing through your standing arm, pushing through your shins, and you're reaching up towards your top hand. Stay with your arm vertical, or bring it out into a diagonal. If you want this, a little bit more pull towards the back though. Release the pose. Left hand, that's the lifted hand on your right knee. Release the weight on your right arm. So we're not leaning on that arm anymore. Hug and lift. Use your strong muscles to hold the pose, to hold the seat. Then use your arms as levers to torque you a little bit deeper in your mermaid twist. But, and this is quite important, please note if your left hip is okay with this. Yeah, because that left hip is internally rotated in this mermaid twist, it might not like the articulation of, that added articulation of twisting the rest of the body. From here, release the pose. Bring your nose and sternum in line with your pubis. So the new front of the body is that space between your knees. Finger pads down. Wave the body up, belly up, chest up, head up. Then on a long exhalation of your circular breath, walking your hands forward, bringing the body lower. See if your hips and your knees are okay with this depth. If they feel strained, stay high and support yourself with your arms. But if you're okay, walk your hands a little bit deeper, and you can even come very low on the mat. Deep, full breath. To lift up, hug and lift, and walk your hands closer to you. Once the spine is upright, right hand, left knee, so you are reaching for that knee, hooking on around it, left arm threads out to the back. Again, not leaning on that arm and not hunching down here either. Wave the spine up. And if this is enough for you without coming into a deeper twist, your body is already in a twist. Stay if this is enough, or if you want to, twisting a little bit more to the left side. Don't stop your breathing though. Very tempting to stop the breath here, to hold the breath. There is a lot more upper rib cage articulations and awareness in this type of twist, in the mermaid twist. Release your body, release your arms. Bring your arms behind you. Step your feet once again, and you can stay down here. You don't have to lift back up into garland pose. Window wipe your knees to the left side. Lift your sternum, your body up, your spine up. Left hand behind you or wherever it will naturally fall to catch your body weight. Right arm waves up. Lengthening up here. Don't collapse your lower neck and shoulder though. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Don't collapse it this way. You're pushing to the length of that arm, always. From here, when you're ready, pushing through your standing arms, through your legs into your shins, and come into this mermaid pose with a hip lift. Keep your arm vertical, pointing up, or if you're okay, reach towards the back. Looking up, releasing the head, if your neck is okay. And release the pose. Do that mindfully. Don't fall on your hips. Right hand, left knee. Release the weight on your left arm and twist. Deep, full breath. Release the twist, coming back to a new center. Finger pads down on the mat, spinal wave, just one, belly up, chest up, head up, and walk your hands forward, regulating the weight on this articulation of your hips with your strong arms. If you're feeling okay, you can slide and walk them forward and bring your weight onto that front leg. Deep, full breath. Hug and lift, and walk your hands back in to help lift us back into an upright position. Left hand, right knee. Right hand threads to the back, and adjust yourself here as you need to. And stay. This is already bringing your left hand across the body this way. It already brings you in a twist. But if you want to, you can come a little deeper. A lot of, as I said, upper rib cage opening, lengthening out the intercostals of the upper ribs, hopefully. And release that pose. Leaning back again on your hands, stepping the feet, not really together, hip-width distance. Your knees can be together or just neutral, where the articulation of the ankles is inviting the knees to go. Or you can also open your knees a little bit wider, because we're going to push yourselves up. Wrap your arms around your knees. You can bind your hands together here, not really interlaced, but one hand holding on to the wrist of the other. With the spine nice and long, just for one wave. Inhale here and exhale. Curl yourself into a really tight, seated child's pose. I know it's hard to breathe here, and I'll just reorient myself. I know it's hard to breathe here because the front of the body is really compressed, but it is an invitation to feel the other spaces, the other aspects of our rib cage and our lungs. In this case, the back and the sides will necessarily move a lot more to accommodate the breath. It's also a good I find it a good abdominal massage, especially for the abdominal organs, which we don't really massage, we only massage the muscles. But with this compression and the breath, you're getting a little bit of a massaging action. From here, release the pose and check if you have space behind you. If you do, lie down now with me. If you need to reset yourself on your mat at any point, please do. From here, hug the knees in. If you have a ponytail like I do, just move it out of the way so the back of the head is flat and it's safer for the neck. Hugging your knees in and draw circles with the knees. Big circles. Take your time here. It's always a good ending. As we do in our classes, we end with the sacroiliac joint massage. Or at least the second or third last pose, yeah? To the end of the class. Bringing equilibrium back to the SI joint. Really, really important, and a lovely massage for your lower back as well. From here, steady back in the center. You are welcome to support your legs by holding on behind your knees or squeezing them in. Or if you're feeling okay, relax your arms already in your Shavasana and lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling. Point your toes first and notice that plantar flexion of the front of your ankles. So the front of the ankles are nice and straight, yeah? Keep your focus on it and keep your focus on your muscle action. Relax your toes, front of the ankles still plantar flexed, then flick the toes towards the face without coming into a dorsiflexion, yeah? Plantar flexed ankles, but flick the toes towards the face. In a free hold, Viparita Kirani. And this one, flicking the toes in your plantar flexion, really nice to activate, invigorate and awaken the arches of the feet. Without that strong position of dorsiflexions. From here, I hope you kept your legs there while I was talking. Bend your knees. And I know it's going to be hard to breathe here, but hands back on your shins, close to your knees. Inhale, squeeze, round your shoulders up, round your head up, in an upward facing child's pose. Inhale here, and exhale with a sigh. And open up to your Shavasana. Resetting the shoulder blades under the body, lengthening the legs, separating them comfortably so the feet can flop out to the sides, and closing your eyes.